welcome back to the Bitter Geeks Podcast. Here we are finally to do part 2 of our commentary of Zack Snyder's Justice League. I know it's it's been a couple months. Sorry, but of course our lives and stuff always, get in the way of everything as far as recording podcasts. But hey, we're here. We're finally finishing this thing up. I'm really excited for it because I think the back half is definitely, I love this movie as a whole, but I think the back half is the half of the movie I prefer over the first, even though I love the first half. But yeah, here with me are Al and Liz, and so whenever you guys are ready, I'm ready to just go ahead and get started.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
All right, so just give me 1 second. So 3, 2, 1, play. All right, so so for those of you watching, we're at part 4, Change Machine. So we're at the part with Gordon and Batman on the roof.
I will say this much for Ben Affleck. I'm definitely excited for Rob Pattinson playing Batman. I'm excited for that too. But there's just something about Ben Affleck's energy, in that scene where he was on the gargoyle, where it really felt like, that was definitive Batman.
Yeah, that's one thing. I love BVF and I love this, but at the very least, I think Ben deserved at least his Batman movie to see more of that.
Yeah. I was arguing something with someone on Twitter about how they were like, "Oh, we shouldn't have a Batman versus Deathstroke."
Oh yeah, I saw some of that. It's just ridiculous.
It's what?
I feel like it's the same people that say "Oh, Cyborg shouldn't be a member of the Justice League because he's a member of the Teen Titans."
Yeah, it's dumb.
I'm so glad we're gonna get more of J.K. Simmons as
I know. I'm here's the thing. After this movie, I'm like, you know what? If I'm done with DC, I'm done with DC. But they're doing things to at the very least keep my level of interest somewhat there, and bringing him back just makes me so happy because I thought that, especially with him going back to be J. Jonah in the Spider-Man movies, I'm like, oh, so he's probably done with DC then, and.
No, JK's just getting his coin from those. Good for him. Get those superhero paychecks, man.
Yep. And honestly, and I think I said this before. Obviously we don't get a ton of him, but I think he's definitely a good fit as James Gordon.
Yeah.
Presence and everything. He could play Batman and be like, "Whoa, best Batman ever." That's really a J.K. Simmons fan.
That every time I see that area, I just keep flashing back to Flash falling on her boobs. Unfortunately.
Stop! Don't do that to me. I love this shot of them walking up the stairs. I just find it
I've
funny.
seen some people be like, "Oh, did we really need that shot?" I'm like, "No," but I don't.
I guess no, but it's kind of
to see all these superheroes walking up the stairs.
Exactly. That's the thing. I feel like that's one thing I feel we didn't get enough of, especially obviously in Justice League, just showing the team actually together for a reason.
Yeah.
See, this part justifies why they don't need the stairs. Cyborg can fly, Diana can jump really far, Bruce has his grappling hook, and Barry is really fast.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think they did it for Bruce.
Grappling hook, he has gadgets.
Let's just walk up these stairs for him. So we don't let him feel old.
Well...
To be fair, Diana's the oldest one there, so...
Yeah.
He looks the oldest.
Basically.
And here's one thing though, like, I really appreciate Zack showing that Barry is a Superman fan. Like, he sees this big, huge alien and all these other aliens behind him. He's like, yeah, now would be a good time for Superman to be back.
What is Zack's obsession with slamming people into walls?
That's a good way to phrase that.
What is Zack's obsession with slamming men into walls?
I think it happens to girls sometimes, doesn't it? I'm trying to think of an example.
Well, I mean, Diana
Dead.
slams herself into a wall here.
In Army of the Dead, does that happen to? Oh, yeah, it does. Well, he gets thrown into a wall with a spear.
Yeah, close.
This is an enjoyable
Ancient
fight.
Lamentations.
Oh, you know what's funny? Like, I still think the theme is a little overused, but the more I watch the movie, the more I'm not as, like, negative on it as I was the first few times.
I'm so desensitized by it that I was like, okay.
It only for me gets to be way too much in the final fight.
And then that's the thing, like, I know they were trying to, like, Junkie wanted to do something different with the score, and I don't fault him for that in any way. But again, like, I would rather have heard, like, more of, like, an equal balance of her actual theme and that.
Yeah.
I love her in this scene.
I know, me too.
I'll make sure these things follow me. Quote unquote.
Skipped.
Like getting my ass beat.
Thrown into a wall again.
I remember me and my brother got into an argument after we just saw Eternals. We were not an argument. We were just talking about like you know. He showed me like a chart on TikTok as to who was faster, the girl from Eternals or Flash.
I've seen some of that too. I haven't seen Eternals, by the way, so I don't have a valid argument for her, but just based on what people have said, that it's just the argument for her being faster doesn't make sense, especially because Barry's gone back in time.
Yeah, that's what I keep bringing up. Like, Barry is fast enough to go back in time.
I mean, ultimately, these characters are fake, so it doesn't matter. But like, it's
Who cares? Like, it's so silly. I mean, we can't talk about what movies are better, or if we do, that's a stupid conversation always. But we can argue about who's faster.
You know what's funny? Okay, so unrelated, but like just going back to what's on screen here, like it wasn't until now that I realized that the Nightcrawler kind of reminds me of like the big robot spider from Wild Wild West. Have you guys ever seen that movie?
Nope.
I have not seen the Wild Wild West in years.
Oh, neither have I. I just remember the big robot spider at the end, and because that's the one thing I really remember from that movie. Because I saw it as a kid and I liked it, but I found out later on that like that's one of the most panned movies of all time. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Wait, it's one of those what?
Oh, like it's like one of the most hated movies like ever. People think it's one of the worst.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that part is so cool.
Mm-hmm. And then one thing I really love about this movie is like Zack gives each character something important to do. It's not all about like, okay, one character can save them all. It's literally they're all equally important.
Okay, yeah, Flash gets the best scenes in this movie.
Oh, the best theme?
Scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, honestly, they're just the best ones.
Well, it's like visually, like, it's not even just the fact that it's like the slow mo scenes that, because obviously like Marvel have done the slow mo speed scenes too, but like it's the way, I don't know. There's something about the way that Zack directed these scenes and visually the way they look that makes them stand out to me as being more than just another slow mo scene. Because you see how Barry's speed affects the environment around him and how the lightning affects the environment around him.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of detail to how Barry moves.
That's why, like, when I first saw the teaser for the Flash movie, I'm like, I already know his speed and his lightning and suit's gonna suck.
Have they shown a teaser for that?
They did.
Yeah, they did for Fandom.
They did it for Fandom.
This suit looks
like,
so bad.
No, I'm actually be in defense of the suit this time. Like, the suit itself actually looks pretty good, and I do like the emblem on the suit. But what holds it back for me is just the mask. The mask just is horrible. It fits terribly on his face.
It just looks like it's like a bike helmet that's like 3 sizes too big for his face.
Yes, that's the problem. I feel like we hit peak Flash mask with Justice League's version of Barry's mask.
And it's hard. Even, like, I understand they weren't going to keep that suit for the movie. Like, that's fine, but there's so many different ways they could have done it better and it actually fit Ezra's face.
Yeah,
and then
I would even say
yeah,
Grant Gustin's mask in I think season the mask he currently has just looks better than
that. Oh, I agree. And I think even that suit looks better than the current movie Flash suit.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just a lot of things. I just wish they did better. Yeah. I wish I think what's his name, the guy who made Batman and Superman suit in Justice League, or basically made all of their suits.
Oh, Michael Wilkeson.
I feel like he spoiled me in terms of suit design.
Oh yeah, for sure. The only thing I'll say is that the only suit.
No, go ahead.
Sorry, I'll be quick. The only suit I feel like that's even close to these type of suits, is Arthur's Aquaman suit in the movie. Beyond that,
yeah. I
don't think the other suits are Shazam's suits in both the first Shazam and the new one are fine. I don't think they're bad.
I like the first one. Well, nah, let me not say that.
I don't think the first one's bad. I just think they put too much of a muscle suit on Zachary Levi, and
yeah.
The symbol, I just didn't like how it was just a bright yellow light and under there. It looked kind of cheap, but I didn't think it looked bad. But I think Justice League and obviously Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, I think had the best suits for all of these characters. Except for I think Aquaman, I think that's the closest we've gotten to another just almost perfect suit.
The Aquaman one, it's a step up from this one for sure, and it looks really great in that movie, and they managed to make it look not silly. And of all the suits, and I'm not anti-superhero suits and changing them and making them really different, but the Aquaman one is one of the most difficult to adapt, and it's partly because Jason would just look cool in anything, but the costume design itself was really good. And also,
they set up, even though it's obviously visually different from how Atlantis looks here, they still set up the costume design in that movie in a way where you believe it. It's not out of the ordinary for Jason's suit to look like that, you know? There's bright colors, but you don't think the bright colors are unbelievable in that world, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think put him in that suit in this movie, it would actually fit fine.
Yeah, I think I think that suit's almost perfect. The only thing I don't like, and it's the same issue I have with that new black or dark blue stealth suit he has in the sequel, is the way his abs are contoured. It looks a little off in his abs, but beyond that, I think it's fine.
I think that's a habit of superhero movies.
Yeah.
So are you guys hoping does the costumes for Rebel Moon?
I mean, ideally Michael Wilkinson, but I don't know. It's hard because I don't know like what style Zack's gonna go for as far as this, like what kind of sci-fi are we gonna be getting from him? You know, like, are we gonna get something like that's clean and, you know, polished and all that, or are we get something like, I don't want to say dark and gritty, but, you know, like something just a little more wary or a little more like lived in, you know what I mean? Like, so it's hard to say. Like, I just want whatever will fit that vision, and I want to, I don't know.
I hope it's like, because I know he was using Seven Samurai as a reference, so I'm hoping it's like something like futuristic space samurai-esque. I doubt we're gonna see lightsabers or anything. I mean, I know if Zack could, he would definitely put lightsabers in it.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have to come up with some other kind of weapon that's gonna be like, when we watch, it'll be like, oh, that's the lightsaber of this, you know. But it can't be a lightsaber, tragically, because we know we can all imagine and just like bask in the idea of Zack directing a lightsaber duel.
I feel so bad. Like, he is such, and it's so clear in his work just how much of a Star Wars fan he is, and a good Star Wars fan. I'd love to see him do a Star Wars movie, but one, Star Wars doesn't deserve him. Star Wars fans don't deserve him.
Oh God!
Can you imagine Star Wars fans?
Dude, Kathleen couldn't even keep Patty.
Oh, I will always revel in that, just for my bitterness.
Oh yeah, I agree. I just mean that clearly they just don't have a good relationship with directors. So even if they got Zack, I doubt they could keep him.
Yeah.
Because he probably would, like, I actually believe the rumor just because of how Lucasfilm seems that they're like these super micromanaging, like, nightmare to work with.
Yeah.
And I just feel like Zack would get a taste of that and be like, bye.
Yep. Okay, so real quick, just to get back to what we're watching on TV, on the movie, or in the movie. We can go back to that in a second, but I just want to say, like, I know it's not in the movie, and I'm sure Zack had a reason for cutting it, but I missed the scene with Gordon being, it's good to see you playing well with others again.
Yeah.
Like, it was a little moment, like, I missed it. I'm sure that might have been a moment, because it was cut, obviously, that, like, probably, like, Jeff Johns asked, or, like, the studio asked for it to be in there, so, like, I get it, but I also kind of miss it.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, I kind of missed that, too.
And it would have been nice to see another Gordon scene, because, you know, I'm J.K. Simmons' #1 fan.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm still very much disappointed at how WB has basically been like, Darkseid has been used in Zack Snyder's Justice League, so therefore we can't make a new Gods movie.
It's so stupid. I don't even, like, Ava DuVernay, like, whatever. Like, I don't have hard opinions on her either way. I just don't really care. But that doesn't mean that WB should have done that to her movie just because Zack used a character that in a movie that they say isn't canon, and it's a cul-de-sac. It makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, it makes no sense. How could you say it's not canon, but then you're not going to use?
It's the same thing
anyway.
with like why they won't let him use Jon Stewart. Like, if this movie isn't canon, why does it matter? Like, it's not like we're seeing any of these characters like this again. Like, we're not going to see Martian Manhunter. We're not going to see, unfortunately, we're not going to see Cyborg again. Like, so, like, let Zack have his dark side, which is a great version of the character. Like, for the little bit we get of him, especially in this scene, like the theme and like all this stuff. Like, it's great. Like, but again, if you're going to say that this movie doesn't matter, then let other directors do what they want. If that's what you're trying to say.
The jokes about this scene were so good when it first came out. Like, Darkseid came to the phone real quick.
Yeah.
It's my life equation. He immediately said, "Give me the phone."
And I honestly, this might be one of my favorite moments as far as Steppenwolf CGI. And obviously the dark side
Yeah.
CGI for like the way they communicate is great too. I know we kind of talked about it before, but I think the way they communicate here is really great. But yeah, Steppenwolf, I really like for what they were able to do in the time that they were given. Looks so much better than anything we would have gotten before.
I barely even remember what he looked like before, and I'm glad.
I mean, I would have been okay with it if we weren't getting that original design, but it makes it so much better.
He's so cute. He has a cute little puppy face.
All the sad cat memes that came out of that. And I love how Zack like literally like was like, getting angry at the fanboys that were like, "This is not the Batcave."
Oh, that was funny.
Well, because that's the thing. I think fans just thought that because in Justice League, like they just made it seem like it was an extension of the Batcave because like they get to the Batcave and Barry runs around all through this and was like, "Oh, it's a cave," like. And Zack was just like, why would you think it's a Batcave?"
Yeah, I was surprised too. I thought it was a Batcave too.
Look at Bruce's car in the background. He's such a billionaire.
I actually like this whole scene that they have.
Oh, me too. It's one of my favorite like of the team in the movie.
Yeah.
It's a nice team meeting scene.
Well, also there's something about like I really like how Barry is in the scene. Like he's like, it's not him trying to be funny. It's him like assessing the situation using his knowledge here, and like, it's there's something about the way that Ezra acted in the scene and the way that it was directed. I just really like how he was in the scene. Obviously, I love everyone in the scene, but I think to me he was probably other than Victor, he was probably the standout of the scene.
I like that, and this isn't just for like this scene, but this is just for like the entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like the dynamic between Arthur and Victor in this one, because for some reason, like in like Joss Whedon's cut, it's like for some reason, like Arthur was just a continuous dick for no reason.
Yeah, that's the thing. He was literally he was an asshole like the entire movie, and he had no character arc. Like,
yeah,
it was so ridiculous. Like, and then watching this, like he's coming from a bitter place, but he's not inherently a dick. He's, like suspicious, like rightfully so, of the fact that this dude is literally made of a mother box and knows like, oh well, how do you know so much about them? Like, how do I know we can trust you? Which is like fair,
But then he hears the whole thing with his parents, and it's like, okay, now I understand.
Yep, and then especially after he loses his dad, he connects with him even more, because one, he feels guilt for that, and two, he resonates, because obviously at this point, like, he believes his mom dead, so he has that, connection there with, not having a parent around. And I will say that, like, I love this whole, like, Victor telling this story, and you see his origin, which is so parallel to obviously his scene in BVS. Like it's like literally the moment that BVS clip of him ends, this picks up, which I love. But also just the way that Ray delivers all the lines and like the way he performs. It's just, and then the cut to this part right here, just he's just so great. Ray is probably the best part of this movie.
He's so good in it.
I'm actually not doing anything tomorrow if you can help him lift a table inside of the car.
Oh my god, Barry's not stupid.
And again, just like using what he knows to help them all come to the same conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love the music in this.
This is when they're like, oh wait, could we?
I know. I love it.
I love that that's how Victor's like, well, I'll just do a screen projection of it.
I still think it's so dumb that people thought that was Supergirl in the original trailers.
That was weird.
Like, what?
Because the thigh leg looks too skinny.
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
Speaking of ridiculous.
Okay, I know, like, I have mixed feelings on this because I love Martian Manhunter in this, but I think
It was a poor decision.
it was a poor decision to have this moment be Martian Manhunter, because Martha needed this and Lois needed this.
I agree. Also, it doesn't even make sense. Like, the general, Swanwick, he knows Lois. Like, he could have had this conversation with her if he really wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, so him disguising himself as Martha didn't make sense. It was just done so it could be more shocking.
Yeah, and, like, honestly, if Zack wasn't given the okay to do Martian Manhunter, this would have been just Martha, you know?
Probably.
But I feel like there are better ways you could have introduced Martian Manhunter than this.
I feel like, if anything, you could have had this scene, and then you could have just had, like, Martian Manhunter, like, flying outside the window, and then have him say the line of, "The world needs you too, Lois," and then that. Like, he was listening in, but he wasn't, like, it wasn't him tricking Lois, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I know, like, some Lois Lane fans don't like this movie because of its portrayal of Lois and how they believe that she wouldn't have just quit working at the Daily Planet, and that, you know, it's...
Well, that depends.
I'm not saying that's wrong. Like, those people's criticisms are valid, but for me, who's someone else who is also a Lois Lane fan, I think that to say that no matter what version of her loses Clark, she always immediately dies back into work, like, I don't think that's always the right thing, or that's always, you know, it's never, like, black and white, like, oh, she has to do that in order to make it a good story. I don't believe that, personally. Like, I believe Lois is allowed time to grieve. And if this was, like, a year later, after he died, that's one thing, but it's been, like, it's less than 2 months after, and, like, being someone who lost someone very close to me, like, I lost my mom when I was younger, like, it's, you don't just get over it like that, you know, no matter who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So I like having Lois, like, taking the time to grieve, and I like that, you know, in this moment, she serves a purpose of, like, we need Lois back to have Clark back. You know, like, without, obviously I'm not saying, like, oh, she's, like, the man can't exist without the woman, or the woman can't exist without the man. I'm not saying that, but it's Lois Lane and it's Clark Kent. Like, these characters are, you know, they go in tandem with each other. So you don't truly get Superman back unless you have Lois Lane right there. And I think that's what Zack was trying to do, and I think in my opinion, he conveys it well. So that's my 2 cents on that whole thing.
Well, I always enjoy your 2 cents, Nick.
Thank you, Liz. I will say though, like, again, I like Martian Manhunter, and I know they were limited with what they could do. This might be some of the most obvious it needs tweaking CGI moments in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look terrible, but, like, that first transformation bit was not very smooth.
Meanwhile, they're still standing there.
I know.
Like, that they were during that scene, they were just all staring for a moment.
We have to try. What do we have to lose? We cannot try.
And I think I remember Danielle mentioning that she was still upset that no one consulted Lois in resurrecting Clark, which, again, fair criticism.
That's good to know.
I like that Arthur is so opposed to it.
Yeah. And I like that compared to the Justice League version where, like, Diana just so against it, like, because it's made to paint her to look like the bad guy for being like, hey, maybe sorry, that's my son playing with this toy. But it's made to make her look like the bad guy and Bruce to be like, oh yeah, well obviously Superman needs to live, so obviously I'm in the right there. But here, I love that they all come to the agreement together. Like, good or bad, they're all equally responsible for this decision.
I think Arthur's completely opposed. Diana's a little in the middle. Bruce is completely gung-ho, and Barry kind of is too. I think Victor's the I'll go with the group decision one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know we can do this in a second, right?
So one thing I wish Zack would have stated in the movies, it's not that big a deal, but I wish he would have said how far Metropolis is from Smallville. Because, like...
It's always unclear to me and everything. I watched, 7 seasons of Smallville, and I was like, I don't know.
Well, Smallville was always inconsistent. Smallville went from it being, 3 hours away to, it's, the same, city, basically. Made no sense.
Listen, y'all know I love Aquaman. I do. And I think it's a beautiful movie. I think it literally has the best action scenes in a DC movie.
Uh-huh.
Including Zack's movies in that, for the record. But I would have been really interested to see this version of Arthur in an Aquaman movie.
Yeah. I mean, I still, I said this before, I still think I see the transition from this version to what we see in Aquaman. I don't think it's too far of a jump.
Mm-hmm.
But
I agree.
I agree with you. I'd like to see more of a natural progression of his character.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to say this because I think Zack, should do all of these movies, but the aesthetic of Atlantis to me in this is just what I always imagined a live action Atlantis would look like. And I think Mira, I liked her with the accent compared to without the accent. And the wig was better in this, and the armor of hers was better in this. I'm not saying James Wan did it worse or James Wan is inferior, but just preference-wise, I like this better, even though I also like the Aquaman movie.
Yes, we will never say James Wan is inferior on here. Wan is one of the best directors working right now.
Oh, yeah.
And still directed the highest-grossing DC movie of all time, including every single Batman movie.
That is insane to me. I'll always give that movie credit for that. That's...
It's so satisfying that he beat Batman. So amazing.
I do like the scene of Bruce and Alfred. Alfred being okay, are you sure, you're doing this for the right reason, that you're clear-headed in this? God, one thing too about just Chris Terrio's, the way he wrote the lines, I think his Alfred is just, the lines he gives him are just so great.
Jeremy Irons is legitimately my favorite part of this movie. I'm not even really joking. I think he's so good in it, and he gets some of the best lines.
Honestly, again, I'm not saying this to to be negative against any of the other actors who've portrayed Alfred, but again, Jeremy Irons is always, he portrays Alfred in the way that I've always liked. I don't need Alfred to always be stoic and just mildly sarcastic. I'm not saying that's wrong if you like that, but me personally, this Alfred is the perfect blend of everything I want him to be. He's basically Bruce's father figure. He also has the snark. he has that level of passion and care for Bruce and the mission, but he also holds Bruce accountable. You know, he helps Bruce, like, he's as much Batman as Bruce is, pretty much. You know, like, he's everything I think Alfred should be, and I think he delivers it so incredibly well. So it was one thing I remember, like, I saw this fan trailer of Batman v Superman well before the movie came out, and before Jeremy Irons was even officially cast. And in that fan trailer, they used Jeremy Irons as Alfred. I'm like, he's now my fan cast. That's who I want as Alfred. And then we got him, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so excited. And I wasn't disappointed. He's one of the best characters in all three movies.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremy Irons is just the kind of actor who elevates everything he's in.
Oh yeah. Sure.
And he's an Oscar winner, but I still feel like he's so underappreciated. I'm going to see another Jeremy Irons movie tomorrow. I'm going to see House of Gucci. I'm so excited.
Oh yeah, definitely let me know how that is.
Sorry?
Definitely let me know how that is. I'm excited for that.
You know I won't be able to shut up about it. But I'm excited to see him in that. And just excited to see that in general. Ezra's comedic timing in this is just really good.
God, it was so funny watching this movie while we're still in the pandemic. Obviously, like, they had no idea back then, but it's just, like, all the quarantine bits in this, like...
Oh, haha!
In retrospect.
I hadn't thought about that. I like that you said we're still in the pandemic, as if we're ever going to be out of it. I'm just accepting my life.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go get tested today because my roommate got exposed to someone who tested positive. And yeah, keep your fingers crossed for me.
Oh, for sure, we'll do. That sucks. Like,
yeah,
legit
either
sucks.
Both got tested today, so if either of us test positive, we're not going to go home for Thanksgiving. So, fingers crossed.
That sucks.
That would really suck.
I think it's hilarious how literally the league is just, like, literally waiting behind those doors.
Creeping, standing in that small room.
God, everyone just looks so good there.
That's a great shot of them. Do you think he guessed what they were going to do?
I don't know, but I feel like no matter what, the moment he saw Victor, he's like, I trust my son to know that he's going to do whatever he's doing it for the right reason.
You know who was in the coffin. He couldn't, I mean, maybe he could have guessed, but...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, the Man of Steel callbacks, I love them.
I know. Like, it's sad because, like, I know so much of this is just, like, obviously they didn't keep the same exact sets for all three movies, so I know they obviously have to rebuild everything in between. But like, even that, just seeing, like, the dusted wipe from when Clark wiped his hand on there and Man of Steel's still there, like, it's the little detail like that I appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love the way that the suits pop out even when he's not alive yet. But it is interesting, if you notice, like, when they show the suits, they give a female suit that's kind of like Feora's.
Yeah.
And then they have a Buzz Lightyear suit.
Completely missed the pregnancy test on my first watch. I didn't notice at all, and then I came on here on Twitter, and everyone was talking about it.
I noticed it so quickly. I literally paused the movie and went back. I'm like, that's a pregnancy test. But honestly, like, I really hope that if Zack was ever going to be able to do a follow up to this, that it wouldn't be the whole Bruce's kid thing and that, like.
No, that's not in this.
Well, just because, like, it would make no sense, like...
He already said that it was Clark's kid. They would have had to, like... There would have had to be a Bruce and Lois subplot in this that we just don't see.
Yeah.
Which would make Bruce so awful.
Yeah.
Dang, having sex with your enemy's girlfriend.
No, I mean, at the time he died, they weren't really enemies anymore. Yeah, there's the place.
Yeah, there it is. I want that press pass. Can someone get me that press pass? Either tell an Etsy shop to do it or what, but I want that Daily Planet press pass.
Go on ESTY. ESTY. They make a lot of fan stuff.
Oh, no, I use Etsy all the time. I never see one from these movies, which is why I'm a little bitter. This is where the score is really good. Like, you get just enough. Like, it's... I do wish Junkie was given the chance to have the full orchestra. I feel like it would have made the score better, but for what he was able to do in scenes like this, I think he did it well.
The Man of Steel theme is so good.
I know. I literally teared up so much the first time watching this scene. So no more cranberries in the water.
Again, no shade to the effects in this movie. I know they had limited time, but these scenes in this location look so good in Batman v Superman.
Oh yeah.
And you get the contrast.
Oh yeah. I don't think it looks bad here, but there is a different, and also I think maybe it's part of like Larry Fong's touch on that movie compared to this too. My thing is, like, did Zod's key just disappear?
Did what?
Zod's key?
Zod's pee?
Key. Remember, like, at the end of Man of Steel, like, when he deletes Jor-El, he puts the key in the thing there?
Oh, key.
Oh! You were not pronouncing that well.
I said key. I was like, key.
It still sounds like key.
Did he urinate somewhere? Is that a deleted scene?
Ha 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 ha.
Okay.
But yeah, I think the keys, like, disintegrate when they're used.
No, but then there's one in there when Lex gets it.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah, you're right. It was there unless Lex took it.
And then Lex back in there.
Unless Lex destroyed it.
Of all plot holes, that's not the worst one.
Oh no, I'm being extremely nitpicky. Like, it's not.
Like, do we have any reason to believe it still would have been in there? Maybe he took it out to close the doors or something.
Yeah. But then, how did the officers get in there who arrested him?
I don't. Oh, that's not good.
Damn it! Now there's even more. Damn it.
It's already open. Never mind. I don't know how Kryptonian technology. Sorry.
No, it isn't. Keep going.
Bruce's desperation here is great.
No, do it.
I like that you could tell if Diana said no, it would have stopped.
Yeah.
Oh, vision time.
It's like, oh wait, before you do that, let me show you what's
The
gonna happen.
only thing I would change about this is I wish Zack didn't show Lois's burnt corpse. That is the only real criticism I have. Like, showing Wonder Woman's funeral or whatever, like, that doesn't really bother me as much. Because...
Oh, it's so cool. And Darkseid showed up to her funeral. That was so polite.
Just came to make sure she was dead.
Just here to make sure she's dead. It's exactly that.
Like, rest in peace, Bozo.
it's funny, I didn't realize that was Arthur at first, and Volko.
And Volko, oh. I guess Mira was on vacation.
Darkseid looks so good there.
It's interesting that they reuse.
Are they in the Batcave?
Yes, they are.
Oh, okay.
Kilowog, R.I.P.
Good.
We hardly knew you.
Oh, whoops.
Go? Wait, no. Go. Got it. I kind of wish that, like, somehow, some way, they had, Clark in, like, his suit. I know it was never gonna happen.
Oh, like in the Superman suit for this? Or is the...
Yeah, like, in, like, it's the one where it's got the hole in it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, minus the cape, because Lois has that.
Well, I assume that Lois has the whole suit, but I do think it's weird how, like, when she grabs the cape, it still has the weird little cape clip things on it instead of just, like, one just piece of fabric that the cape normally is. You know what I mean? Seeing his little face jiggle.
Yeah. I heard Zack wanted... I feel like if Zack had the chance, he would just have Henry completely buck naked.
Oh, that wouldn't surprise me at all if that ended up being a true statement.
Like, you gotta come out buck naked and you gotta fight the entire league. It's like, what?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, he's in his suit, obviously not Superman suit, but he's in like a suit and tie and stuff when he's buried, and then he conveniently loses the entirety of the top half of what he was wearing.
It's like a Hulk situation.
Oh. I forgot the mother box just landed there.
I remember, like... Actually, I'll wait to say this part, because it's funny, but I'll wait until this happens later to bring it up.
I know what you're gonna say, and I was thinking about it too.
Someone said, I can't remember who said it, but someone said he looked like a little pencil.
Oh yeah, did you guys know that the cop there?
That's the Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
From, I think, either the Christopher Reeve movies or the... Was it the Christopher Reeve movies or was it George Reeves?
No, it was Christopher.
Okay.
So he was in... He was the only actor to be in every Christopher Reeve movie and the Supergirl movie.
Oh.
God, I love this shot of him seeing the monument.
I like that he was just drenched in goop, but like his hair looks perfect.
Yeah, oh no, it also changed which side it parts on too.
Oh yeah.
That goop did a lot for his hair.
Kryptonian gel.
Also, none of the league gave Bruce a ride to this. They all just left him.
Because he doesn't have a car, does he?
No, he doesn't. He had to jog. I wish we had seen shots of him jogging over.
Yeah. You know what's sad? There actually is a shot of that in Justice League.
Is there
What?
really?
Yeah, it's a brief shot, but they show him jogging by to get there. Yeah.
Well,
Really? When?
It's like right before he gets or when Bruce gets Clark's attention, before the whole "Do you bleed" thing happens.
Oh.
Well, I've only seen Justice League once. I'm not like Nick, who saw it 5 times in theaters.
No. I saw it 3 times.
Same difference.
Everyone's favorite line.
Hello, no.
I don't understand the hatred people have for that line. Like, I don't think it's bad.
I think it's just the delivery.
It's the delivery.
It doesn't even then it doesn't bug me. Like I don't know.
You know, Arthur's so much stronger in Aquaman. I feel like if he could just get Clark in some water, then they could actually...
Just throw water on him. Not even get him in water. Just throw water on him.
Yeah. And he's, like, insanely strong. Like, in a lot of scenes, in the underwater scenes anyway, it looks like he's as strong as Superman.
Yeah. You know what I wish? I wish we had more, like, interaction between, like, Clark and Diana.
What'd you say? Sorry?
I said I wish we had more, like, time with Clark and Diana. Like, more interaction between them.
In general, I just wish we got more interaction with Clark and the rest of the league individually, too. Like, I wish we had a scene with him and Barry talking, or him and Arthur. You know, like, I get why, but just selfishly, I wish we had more. And also, this scene is so fucking funny.
Deserves no rights, and he's right.
Huh?
Zack said Super Wonder deserves no rights.
Oh, my daughter's awake, by the way, so...
Superman.
Yeah, we're talking about Superman. Emmy, that's Superman.
That's such a good shot. That's genuinely one of the funniest moments in a superhero movie.
Oh, for sure.
Him looking at him in the corner of his eye.
Oh, did any of you guys notice the Ben Parker name there on one of those?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Parker. The part where Barry pushing him, giving him a little push. Oh.
It's funny how how Superman can keep up with Barry. Like, not even as fast, but, like, fast enough.
You can tell he's a little bit slower than him, which I like. But who will think of the military men? They're fine. That's we should just be like that. They're fine.
Oh, no, they're fine. They got out of the truck in time.
Yeah, they're fine. We just didn't show the shots of them on the ground going, oh. That was what he said during Batman.
I still think it's so weird seeing Batman in daylight.
With them.
I love that.
It's Batman.
Remember,
But you.
Remember that they have problems.
That's Cyborg. Yeah, they're fighting Superman.
The water.
Yeah, they're fighting by the water.
He defeated Cyborg. Jeez.
It's like, Bruce, don't stand there. This is your fault.
And look, it's Flash.
Flash.
This is so good. Poor Arthur.
Yes, this scene.
I love this headbutting. It's so
I know, me
funny.
too.
I love that he's like, that actually kind of hurt.
And it's so funny because, like, Joss did that in the first Avengers movie, but Zack does it here so much better.
Oh, it's so good. And I love that Bruce didn't move the whole time that Clark was approaching him. He was just standing there.
I know, Kitty, I know. Okay, bud. Okay, I will say, like, I know some fans, like, theorize and were like, oh, Superman stopped because he sensed Lois's pregnancy. That's...
Nah, I think that was a weird...
No, Zack even said, "Oh, that's a cool idea." Like, it was so obvious. That was so obviously not the intention.
Yeah, and I think Zack, especially when he was doing all those fan streams, like, was just trying to be nice when they were very clearly wrong.
Yeah. He'd always say, like, "Oh yeah, cool." Like, that maybe. You know? When clearly that's not something he intended.
What is good? Yo, Bill!
I don't know anything. I don't know. When does, like, a heartbeat start in a pregnancy? Nick, you would know.
Jumbo!
You have 2 of them.
I think it's like...
Go.
I know it's under 8 weeks.
Yo, Bill!
So that could have been the case here, but still, that's clearly not the intention.
Oh, yeah,
You could have heard a heartbeat, but, like, whatever. Who cares? Oh, this is so funny.
What's that? Money.
Steppenwolf, wow, he took like a while. He let them get their asses kicked before showing up.
Where's the mother bus? Like, oh.
We lost track of that. Thank goodness for Silas. They were being pretty useless.
I know. Okay, what I was gonna say earlier, like, I saw someone on Twitter, I think, said that, like, the reason why Steppenwolf here is so mad is because the mother box was so easy for him to get in Justice League.
True, he did just show up in Justice League. It was right there.
And now it's like, oh, wait. Where is it? Oh, crap.
And it is interesting, like, again, I understand that Warner Brothers basically told Zack never have a big battle in any city ever again. Or at least a city that has people in it. But, like, it is so weird that literally Steppenwolf shows up in the middle of Metropolis, people see this new alien that they hadn't seen before, and then they just, like, never see him again.
Like, oh, wait, is that an alien?
He doesn't even kill anyone. Like, he just shows up, looks mad, and then leaves.
Yeah, you're right. He doesn't kill anyone here. Like, wait, does he even kill... What, he kills, what, just the Atlanteans and the Amazons, and that's it, right?
He doesn't really kill any humans, I don't think. Well, he does kidnap a bunch of them. And I guess he could have killed a
A
couple.
clue.
It's a popper. Hey.
Where's the popper? Sorry, my daughter's watching Blue's Clues, so...
Aw.
She's asking me where a popper is. I wonder if, like, this movie wasn't rated R, if Zack would have had to tone that death down any.
Probably.
It would have looked more like exploded. It's Not even that violent, though.
Yeah. The way Kieran Hines delivers that is so good. Emmy. Again, for those of you listening, my daughter isn't laughing at Silas's death. Not gonna lie, the shot of Batman coming out of the smoke or whatever is pretty cool. You know, this might sound like really weird to say, but like there's something about like Jason's performance in this that kind of gives me some like late 80s, early 90s Kurt Russell vibes.
Yeah, I kind of see it.
Well, God, what's that movie about when he goes into New York, which is just like a big prison?
Oh, isn't it Escape from New York?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that kind of energy here. That's a movie that Zach really loves, actually.
Oh, is it? I love Barry's realization here, like, satellite.
Nice.
Well, he used to have 7.
It used to be 7. It used to be 7, but then stuff happened.
I have 6. Oh god, just Bruce's billionaire energy in this is so good.
It is crazy. Like we've really we're already
The
2
bank.
parts into this. You know, I feel like this movie kind of flies by.
Like, how'd you get the house back in the bank? Oh, I bought the bank.
Thank God it wasn't the itchy line. I knew we all knew it wasn't, but just.
I love how I also think about this when she said you spoke, and it's like, is that supposed to be a reference to all the times where people were like, oh, Superman barely speaks in the movies?
I don't know about that, but I just think it's so much better than the "you smell good" thing. Did I know before?
Yeah.
Well, they had to change that because they had to change it to "you smell good" because he speaks in the fight scene.
Yeah, which also makes no sense.
Yeah.
But you could have changed it to something else.
Oh, yeah, I bet. Oh god, it was so bad.
I do think it's funny though. Like no matter what version of Clark it is, he always has a red flannel readily available.
It's his other superhero costume.
A bunch of. I can't look at flannel without thinking of like it's become a new thing, and I don't know if it's a good thing or not. But I can't look at flannel without thinking about Supernatural. Now every time I see flannel, I just think Supernatural.
I still haven't seen more than like maybe 3 episodes of that show ever.
You can stop. If you do plan to watch it, you
Everyone
can
says stop
at
after
season
5. Yeah.
That's about how far I watched season 5 or 6.
Yeah, you can basically stop at season 5.
Oh, I love this here.
Yeah, a great shot.
There's just something about like the innocence of Henry's performance in this one small scene. And then you pull out, and then you just see the swing.
I want to cry. And the piano.
And again, scenes where the score really works. Like, it brings back that emotion.
Mm-hmm. Now they're in the Batcave.
Yeah. And is this the first real time that we're in the Batcave in this movie?
Yeah, well, Diana was in it already.
Yeah.
Wait, when was Diana in it?
When Alfred was working on the thing, like
That was in the hangar.
no, that's
Tea.
the back.
Oh wait, no, that was the hangar.
It was the
No,
hangar.
I'm so sure it's in the back cave.
No, it was in the hangar. 'Cause that's where that
The scene with the tea happens. Yeah.
When the scene with the what?
The scene with the tea happens, like with Alfred and Diana and the tea.
Oh.
Yeah, that was all in the
Did
hangar.
you think I said P? Again?
Oh my
No,
God.
I actually didn't think that. It's only Nick who can't pronounce his case.
Ha 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 ha. Shush.
It's toxic. That's good. Oh, Bruce's suggestion is let's go bomb it.
What a-
Human idea. Let's go bomb it.
oh, like what happens then?
You know, it's funny, like, I'm not saying that Bruce is in any way dumb in this movie, but he's definitely, like, one of the least smart people in the room in this movie.
He's very conservative.
Yeah. Well, he
Like,
was.
that's-
Well, I have a nuke. He probably does.
Well, I think part of it is too. I think it's part of this character arc. He's thinking less with his brain and more with his heart.
Yeah.
Which, like,
You were
Yeah.
so figuring out how to kill Superman, but you can't help hear much.
yeah.
But no, it really does feel like I've always said like Bruce is like the most conservative, like a conservative in this movie.
I don't know.
Like conservative in the sense that he believes in like very old style things in terms of like his vigilantism, his moral code.
I guess. I don't know. It's hard to say because, like, obviously, Zack's movies are very political, but I don't know if in this instance you would call. If anything, I'd feel like at this point, if Zack were to ever bring it up, he would have gone from being a conservative to being. I don't know if I'd say liberal, but definitely not a right winger.
Yeah. Well, yeah, considering the fact that like what he does and how
Yeah.
he does things.
The tree.
Oh yes, the
Love
tree.
that tree.
I forgot what he was saying about that tree.
Well, the whole thing was like he was trying to keep the tree in continuity with where it was in Man of Steel and BVS.
The butterfly. Important.
Well, because the whole thing, because in BVS, it's literally the exact same set that there was in Man of Steel. They didn't tear it down, but because like pretty much the entirety of this production was in the UK, they had to build everything and have everything from scratch. So that's why he was so worried about the tree. That's why it was so funny that Zack had a whole trailer breakdown where he spent like 20 minutes talking about the tree and not other important stuff. This is where I think the score in the background could have been a little better. It's not bad, but I have this little app that like adjusts like the pitch and the tone of music, and I have the song on my phone, and so I increased the pitch, and it makes it so much better. I'm not saying I'm better than Junkie, but in this instance, like,
You are.
I mean, I remember like some people came out of this and were like, yeah, like there's no CGI face Henry, but he talks less than this. I'm like, yeah, that's why it's better. Yeah,
And he plays injustice.
yeah, Apple. Oh, I know Danielle hates that.
Ever called her mom, which is so weird.
Well, if you look at his mouth movement, I think he says mom, but I think it's if maybe this is just wishful thinking, but I feel like it's the subtitle people that got it wrong. I don't know.
No, he said
I really need Ma. He said Ma.
Yeah.
Mom in this one, and then he said Mom afterwards.
I don't understand though, because in Man of Steel and BBS, he never calls her mom, but then out of nowhere he does here. It's weird.
I'll never forget Danielle's rant on this whole thing after we saw the movie.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know how that happened. I wonder if like Henry just said it and then they just kept it.
I mean, honestly, like he called. I understand. And Emily, sweetie. I know, like, obviously Danielle has her issues with it, other people have their issues with it, fine. But, like, it's not like it's, like, something that totally out of left field that Clark Kent would never say. Whether this Clark Kent says it, like, yeah, that's weird for him to all of a sudden be like, Ma, but at the same time, we've only seen a few hours of his life. So as far as we know, he could be calling her Ma all day, every day.
Oh, Danielle would fight you about those words.
I will send this to Danielle herself and see what she says. I wish, like, I'm glad that Bruce brings up the nightmare. I wish he would have been more clear, like, yes, I saw Barry Allen here before I knew him, and he told me Lois Lane is the key. Now, I can't remember if Zack had done these movies. Would the whole Nightmare movie have been the second movie or the third movie?
I think the second.
The Nightmare sequence?
No, because, like, I know, like, in one of the movies, Zack was basically, the whole movie was going to be in the Nightmare timeline. I just can't remember which one it was going to be.
Bruce is like such a supportive dad.
I was going to say the same thing.
Like he's really giving that.
And again, like, I think it's because we're so used to not seeing a Bruce like this, like, but it's seeing a Bruce so hopeful and happy, you know, like, I know it's jarring for you too, sweetie, but it's something that I appreciate because it's different and something we're not used to seeing, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, and I like it.
Poor Steppenwolf is played so hard. Oh, I love this part.
Oh, me too. I just love seeing where everyone else is in dealing with this. Like, it's not like, oh, we see them and then we forget they exist, you know?
I would have, you know what would have been cool? If we got to see, like, other characters throughout the movies. Like we could have seen, Harley.
Yeah.
Like, some of the Suicide Squad members reacting to it.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool if we just like cut to Deadshot out of nowhere, just like, huh, what's that?
Honestly, there was a hot second there. I'm like, could we be seeing like Harley in this movie? Could we be seeing like Canary in this movie? Because Journey briefly promoted the movie.
Yeah.
But no.
That would have been cool. When Zack was liking the stuff about Journey and Rebel Moon, my heart was full because I was like, I know you saw Birds of Prey, Zack. But it was not to be, and we still have. She's gonna.
Yeah.
And We're getting Sophia and Rebel Moon, so we all win.
Oh, with the power of love.
Ah,
So fun, like, and it's so unintentionally funny because it's coming off of fucking 84, Wonder Woman 84.
So I feel like it wasn't on purpose. It was just something that just happened to
Be funny.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not an intentional shot. It just kind of.
It just works as being a jab at Patty, even though Zack would never publicly jab at Patty. I'm sure they get along okay, but
I feel like Zack didn't like.
I'm sure they get along okay.
well, I mean, I don't know how they actually is behind the scenes, but he's been way more vocally supportive of her than he ever was of fucking James Gunn. So
I think that it's because she came along when he was a lot more involved.
yeah, I guess it's true.
She was really, yeah, he didn't really talk that much about David Ayer, but I think it's just because, like, he cast Doll, and like, so he was just actually more involved with that. Like, other DC directors, it just wasn't ever like that.
Yeah. This whole sequence might be at least top 5 favorite scenes of the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely top 5 favorite Superman scenes for me.
Yeah. See this top 5 actual Superman scenes instead of whatever the fuck Jeff Johns was trying to say like 4 years ago.
Oh god, I remember that. It was like, oh, get ready to update your list, and then the scene never actually came.
What scene was he talking about?
That's the thing. I think he was referring to fucking whatever they were shooting for the reshoots. This fucking idiot.
This is so
And
good.
then it didn't work.
And hearing Kevin's voice.
And here's the thing. This is all new dialogue, and I wasn't expecting that at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess they got Kevin to come back and just record a couple things.
Well, I'm sure that they recorded this stuff back in 2016, but even then, like, it was a pleasant surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And the black suit looks so good.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it so much. I was expecting a longer Flight 2.0 scene, but I'm fine with it.
I guess he was chilling there for a while, because he takes a long time to get to this fight.
I mean, also, yeah, well, that and also, like, he was in the ground for months. I'm sure he's doing that to recharge.
Yeah.
Literally the worst possible time they could be doing yard work outside my apartment.
I feel like they did that shot of Barry literally just for, like, a possible preview when his hands open.
Well, that's the funny thing. Like, I'm sure there's shots in this that were literally just be like, okay, we're going to use this as a promotional shot. And Zach's like, well, since you guys gave me 4 hours, fuck it. Here's 10 extra seconds of something we didn't need, but hey, it's there.
Yep, that definitely happened.
On my lead. That's stupid. Here, this is where the suit looks so stiff on Ben.
Yeah, because it's like a lot of stuff on him.
Well, that and like he can't move his neck because they had to use a different. Whoever made this BVS suit, I guess, like they didn't get proper credit in BVS, so they didn't do this.
Yeah, which is a shame. Which is a shame because that was like the best
Suit, yeah, but it's interesting because like obviously they couldn't remake the Nightmare suit, but they literally had to use that suit again for the additional photography for this.
Yeah. Like, do it, pull back, you're not gonna make it. Don't tell me what to do.
I always like that shot of Steppenwolf looking up.
Just always crash. On.
He's making an entrance. The tower's down.
And again, another reason I really like this whole last act of the movie is that everyone is given a purpose in this battle, you know?
Okay, here comes our favorite scene. Our favorite sequence.
I really like this. I know, like, Danielle and Dash, like, hated all the Batmobile stuff. It was always funny to troll them on it, but I don't know what it was. There's something about the way that Joss edited this whole thing. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff that he cut out, but, like, there's something about the way that it looked in Justice League that made me, like, really not like that whole sequence with Ben and the Batmobile. I don't know.
I don't remember it. I'm never gonna watch that movie.
I mean, I haven't rewatched it since, and I'm never gonna, but I still have way too many memories of that movie.
I've actively avoided any instance of that movie existing. I've been happier knowing that I don't have to continue to know it exists.
And I really like the score here, too.
What if Rebel Moon, he gives Sophia a mobile of some kind?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I think that's the only exception where they'll be like, okay, this is fine.
They'll probably have a story if I had to guess.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised they didn't have some sort of, like, zombie or anti-zombie tank thing in Army of the Dead.
They had their truck.
They had something.
Taco truck at the beginning of the movie.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. You're right. At the beginning.
We only get a glimpse of it though. We don't really see them use it.
Yeah.
I liked that though, because they were using Scott's taco truck.
Yeah.
To rescue people.
Oh,
I love the group shot. Yep.
And Diana is flying.
She's flying just like she did in '84.
She's just jumping really far.
I don't care if she flies. It's the way that she learns how to fly in '84 that's stupid.
Yeah.
Wait, what is it about the flying?
Well, like, basically, like, Steve has to, like, show her how to fly, and this whole, like, it's ripped to be, like a Superman fucking homage kind of thing, and they use the score from, like, a totally unrelated movie in that scene, so it's not even any sort of Wonder Woman or hero music. It's literally pulled from that movie Sunshine.
Huh.
Stupid. And again, I said this before, I really like this different Aquaman theme.
Yeah, it's good. And I really, really like the Aquaman.
Oh, me too. And I think this it's not too far off from each other. Like, I believe it. Like, if we initially went from this to Aquaman, I wouldn't have been upset. You know.
The best Aquaman Black Manta one is so good.
Yeah.
I like the Mr. Worldwide song.
That is amazing.
I just like, I didn't think the song was terrible. It's a little cringy, but, like, I've seen the movie so many times now, I'm just used to it. Like, it's whatever to me.
I just think it's funny. Oh my god, it just makes me laugh.
It just comes out of nowhere.
I love it.
Ocean to
Like,
ocean.
Like nudging the audience like that is with this silly. It's so good.
I do feel bad for the sequel because no matter what, it's gonna get hate just because of the whole Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's fine with the. No one had anything to say about Infinity War with Josh Brolin, though. Okay. Yeah.
Or with Hawkeye, everyone's gonna. So everyone.
Oh, yeah, Hawkeye, but I guess she's a liar too, just like Diane Lane must be a liar. Like, okay.
Again, if you're gonna be anti-abuse, you need to be anti-abuse across the table. I don't like. Obviously, I feel the way I feel about Amber Heard and the whole Johnny Depp fucking thing. Like, but again, if you're gonna feel that way, you need to hold every abuser that you see as an abuser accountable. You can't just be picking and choosing because you want to fuck Johnny Depp. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I hate that this comes up every time we watch it.
Sorry. Okay. Well, we can go back to the movie. I just. Sorry. It just makes me angry. I'm sorry.
I agree. Let's not talk about it anymore. I'm gonna get heated. Like, it's extremely frustrating. Anyway, I love this. This is a great scene with Alfred and Clark.
But one thing that's interesting is that Zack previewed this scene, obviously at Justice Con, but then he changed it to have Clark have a different landing.
Yeah.
I kind of missed the little soft float down landing that he had instead of the superhero landing kind of thing he does.
I like this little team up.
Me too.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, this is cute. And just Arthur.
There's just the action in this, like all the fight scenes. Like I'm never bored in like any of them, except for maybe the Wonder Woman one, just because like nothing. It's not about the Wonder Woman action that bores me. It's just those villains that bore me.
I like the power they give Arthur's pride.
Oh, me too.
This isn't in his cool. It's kind of like Diana's power with her gauntlets.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the whole thing, like, oh, how is Aquaman going to be useful outside of the water? And Zack makes use out of him, because 90% of this movie is him not in the water, you know?
Are you telling me that in the comics, in every single fight scene the Justice League ever have, is it in the water, so he's useful?
No, but it's just so stupid that people literally think that way, but it's like... But they're being nitpicky. I think they're doing it just because it's Zack, you know? Like, if any, like, MCU director was doing this movie, those criticisms wouldn't even be a thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I love this 3 versus 1 fight between these three. It's really good.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, you know what? There are a couple scenes of the slow-mo I feel like could have been cut down a tiny bit, but overall, the slow-mo in this movie doesn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so crazy thinking, like, the back half of this movie that we're watching is literally, like, almost the exact same length that Man of Steel is. And that's only half the movie.
This is my favorite part of the fight. Oh, it's so good.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing, like, the entire fight is just so good. Like, all of it. Like, again, I'm never bored. I'm never like, okay, like, let's speed this up. Like, and every character in this is given a chance to shine. Like, obviously, Barry's comes at the end, and obviously, he gets the moment, but, like, everyone gets a chance to have their moment against Steppenwolf here.
I love when they both pull on the lasso together. It's so good.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I feel so bad for Barry in this fight. He spent like 5 minutes going, I can't hold this anymore.
I know.
Oh, using your own family's death as a weakness, that sucks. But it also makes sense because Diana
I did
herself doesn't
see
even know if
someone
they're alive
had
or
the
not.
theory online recently that, like, what if Steppenwolf saw the nightmare and that's why he said that?
Oh.
I don't.
But I don't think so. I think he was just lying to taunt her, personally. Like,
Yeah, but that would be an interesting
I wouldn't hate
concept.
it if that ended up being the case, but I just don't personally think that that's the case.
She does. I mean, she's dead in the nightmare, though. So, like, that seems like a weird way to taunt her with that.
Yeah.
Just like, once again, very.
Here we go. Here we go.
Alright, here comes the best. Imagine if this played in movie theaters. People would have freaked out, like, oh my god. And I love the new theme.
Cause it's the theme. It's on brass instruments. Like, that's the.
Yeah.
It's like that. I remember watching this for the first time. It was jarring. I'm like, wait, what's this new music? Because I didn't immediately recognize it because it was on different instruments.
I love it, though.
No, I love it now too.
It plays at the most perfect time. Like, when it's, like, literally hopeless, and this guy just comes out of nowhere like, hey, what's up?
I have seen some people say that they wish it was the what are you gonna do when you're not saving the world theme over the flight theme used in this, which I get. Like, I like both themes, and I like the what are you gonna do when you're not saving the world theme a little more, but the fact of the matter is, like, I'm just happy that Junkie used the actual proper music for this.
Yeah.
I'd like to point out that Steppenwolf in this fight never gets a hit in on Superman once.
Nope. And I love how just because Superman's there doesn't mean it's an automatic win.
Oh, yeah.
Like, obviously, like, against Superman, Steppenwolf sucks. But,
Yeah,
like,
it's pretty...
but at this point, with, like, the unity and everything going on, I like that, again, just because Superman shows up and it seemingly looks like they're winning, they don't win. And it's because of, again, everyone had to come together. Like, Barry has to go and get the charge. He had to go back in time. He has to charge Victor. Victor has to separate the mother boxes. Superman then has to punch Steppenwolf through. Aquaman had to stab him, and then Wonder Woman has to decapitate him. Like, literally everyone is getting something important to do in that.
I like that they make it clear, too, that Superman was going to die here.
Yep.
Like, I think it's important that when we see Barry return to the world, that we see Superman be put back together. Because we're like, oh, that even killed him.
And again, showing that stakes, like, yeah, Superman is Superman, but he's not invincible. And I like that a lot. Literally,
I like that.
I love this whole bit. It's literally, he's pounding on Steppenwolf, just literally nonstop.
I was watching this like, hit him again!
Hit him again.
I love this. Okay! Like, Barry on there, okay! Poor guy.
Just beating his ass.
He just like...
And I love the way Henry looks here when he turns around.
Like, oh shit, well, that fun didn't last long.
Well, because it was one of the first few times that like, Superman and Clark can really let loose. And they're like, there's aren't like innocent civilians around or anything like that. He can literally like beat the hell out of this guy and not worry about the consequences of beating him up, you know?
Yeah.
Damn, that one parademon, like, really came in clutch.
Didn't people call him like Gary the Parademon or something like that?
Gary the parademon kind of succeeded for side. Nice.
In this, also, again, top 5, if not one of the best scenes of the movie.
Oh, something interesting is that Barry, like, instinctively, like, vibrated his body.
Yep.
So that he wouldn't feel, like, the full brunt of these. But dang, can you imagine if Barry hadn't, like, vibrated so fast that he can, like, negate the explosion?
Well, the world would have just died.
Yeah. And honestly, like, one thing I really appreciate is like Zack made this just look so visually beautiful. Like it's literally like he's running through space. Like
budget went because the CGI in this scene is stunning.
Yeah.
and that's the thing. Like if other smaller scenes have to suffer a little bit for scenes like this to look this good, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. My favorite thing about superhero movies is scenes like this that are just like the big hero moments, and this is one of the best ones I've ever seen.
Yep.
It's like top, like another one. Like for me, my favorite one ever is Spider-Man 2. And
Oh, I just watched that movie. Yes, I agree.
What movie?
Spider-Man 2 and the train scene.
Oh, yeah.
How good is that for me? This is such a good hero scene. It's
Yep.
stunning.
Yeah. This scene in particular is like I can't look at any other comic book movie and like not think of this scene when I think of top 10 best.
Or even just like not even just other comic book movies. Like compared to anything that they did in the Flash TV show, this blows the entire show out of the water in one sequence.
And the score is so good.
Yeah.
Like it's as good as the world is, and still it's so good.
Yep. Like, look, here's the thing. I know some people wanted a proper Man of Steel trilogy before we got Justice League and all that stuff. Like, I get that. That's fine. But I love having this.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm glad we got this. It's so good.
There he goes.
Yeah, like that killed Superman.
It's like, dang, he died again.
Right after that. And I love seeing Victor, like his body appear like that. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I know.
Also, that is still perfect meme material.
I know. That's the thing. Like, I'm surprised, like, that, like, stuff like that didn't get memed more. Like, I saw stuff, like, on TikTok making fun of the Wonder Woman theme, but, like, there was some actually, like, good quality meme stuff in here that no one took advantage of. And I'm kind of upset.
That shot of Dash, I memed it with the Dash minding her own business and Zack about to do anything.
Yeah.
I had that one with the Henry and Jason thing, too, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do appreciate, though, that one. Because that Henry and Jason one, that one's been used so much.
It's always appropriate, yeah. It's just such a good scene, and Ray is so good here.
And honestly, and it validates, like, people with disabilities and stuff, too. Like, obviously that's a big part of who Cyborg is, but just, like, for telling the audience, like, yes, you have this quote-unquote disability, but that doesn't make you broken. That doesn't mean you're alone. You know, it's just... I love it.
Yeah.
It's so good. And it's, again, this is his big hero moment. There's, like, the whole movie has a hero moment for everybody. It's so good.
I love the way he says Superman here.
Superman! I know, it's just got a muscle piece apart.
Mm-hmm.
You know that was hard if he's struggling.
Yeah.
God, I love it.
But I like it because it means that he's still not the strongest thing ever.
Yep.
Which leads for, like, more conflict in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
God, and the suit looks so good there.
Oh, I love that Arthur just stabbed him in
I know.
the back with no qualms about
Even
it.
though I knew it was coming, it's still so good.
And we're gonna and I hated how people were like, why didn't they just send him back for Darkseid to kill? Because he killed her sisters.
Because it's an example.
He killed her sisters. She deserved to kill him.
Yep.
Also, keep in mind, like, these aren't like you know, the old timely superheroes. These are like, we almost died because of this dude.
Yep.
Screw him.
Darkseid looks so good.
Darkseid looks mildly annoyed. I like that he just doesn't really give a shit that Steppenwolf is dead.
I think he's just more angry that he lost, more than that he lost his uncle.
I love this scene, like, just Supes and Darkseid
Yep.
just staring at each other, like...
And the
yeah,
two
come
POVs, yep.
through. It's like, come through next time.
Everyone's voice here is like Desaad's voice is perfect. Darkseid's voice is perfect. Like,
What kind of pull does Desaad have for him to be able to say that and not get a vapor? Like,
because he's a simp.
Like, I told you he'd fail. It's like, okay.
It is interesting, like, that Zack still kind of included Granny Goodness, even though she's literally entirely a CGI character in this movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he added her for this cut. That maybe she wasn't even going to be in the original.
And I remember some people saying that, oh, the mom from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody was going to be her, just because she's friends with Ray Porter.
Oh, that would have been pretty... that would have been something. I wouldn't be opposed to it, though. That'd be pretty cool.
Clark pulling Bruce up out of the darkness.
They made him walk the whole way up, though. Or it grappled the way up. They didn't help until the end.
It's like, oh, thanks for helping me. By the way...
Literally, everyone looks so good here.
No,
Like,
no, he did not.
again, I'm not as big on the armored Batman look, but besides that, everyone's suit is just top tier, like, costume design. It just all looks perfect. Like,
This is such a good shot.
it is.
So you Joss Whedon just ruined it with that flower thing?
Oh god, don't remind me. Good job, Emmy. That is Superman. Wonder Woman. Aquaman. Yeah, they did it! Yay! Emmy, that's the Justice League. Yeah, they already fought the bad guy.
And now we have a very long epilogue.
The only thing I would really trim out of this is that Lex escape sequence thing. That drags to me. Like, the whole Arkham bit takes way too long.
This is so good, though, this tape recorder scene.
I agree. That's Cyborg.
They had a dog.
Oh, yeah.
What happened to the dog?
There's a picture of the dog. What happened to the dog?
Now, new questions. What happened to the dog?
He must have died. That's tragic.
And I think it's funny, though, like, Volko and Mira literally came all the way from Atlantis just for Arthur to say, I gotta go see my dad. Peace.
I think he was giving them the trident back.
Well, because I mean, I guess because he doesn't have the suit there anymore. I guess that would make sense.
I love that Volko's gone, it's just Mira. This is so romantic. It's about the yearning. There's like this. I find their relationship in this movie, and they have barely any scenes to be like really romantic.
I know. And then I'm sorry, Amber Heard's fucking hot in this. Fight me.
Oh, so good. And that suit is so good on her. I love
I know.
Yeah. Oh my god. Every time I see this scene, I think of what could have been.
I know.
That. Oh,
Ryan Choi.
That's
And
the
what's
thing.
worse is that I think like one of the reasons why they didn't do the Ryan Choi thing was because of the CW.
No, well, this was like years before the CW because he's only been in Crisis, and this was 2.5, 3 years before Crisis happened.
Oh, okay.
But even then, the CW literally brought Ryan Choi in for that thing, and he was literally such a nothing character.
why did they edit Diana's outfit to be red?
That made no sense to me at all. Like, well, because blue's too dark
That's
It was blue? Wait, it was red?
in
red.
Justice League. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't watched that movie in a long while, so.
Another thing too, like about the Flash movie. I'm bummed that they recast Billy Crudup.
It's because of scheduling.
I know
like,
with the morning show. I know.
but
Morning
still,
show.
Summer.
It's that show that he's doing on Apple TV with
Oh.
Steve Carell and them.
I wonder if he's gonna be in Rebel Moon.
I'd love to see who he's gonna bring back, like of all of his returning actors who he always works with.
More red.
And then also they edited Lois, like the little baby carriage, to be just a damn box.
Yeah. Really trying not to keep. Really trying to not make sure the Vision's not alive.
And he let Superman.
I bought the bank.
I always like that moment.
Of course he bought the bank. Why wouldn't he?
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
Okay.
Okay, go, Jay.
My daughter wants me to put her little blanket on like a cape.
Aww. She wants to be Superman?
Yep. I mean, are you Supergirl? I was gonna say something before she asked me to do that, but I already forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh no, Batman.
Batman.
She a Batman?
Yep.
Why are you standing on that giant thing?
Well, that's the
course
tank
he's
from The
sick.
Dark Knight Returns.
Is
Yeah,
that,
so
That's the Batmobile in that.
it's like a giant tank.
And,
What is
and,
a giant tank?
and Al, I don't know if you noticed, but in front of the Batmobile were mutants from that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, so I can't remember. So did we confirm if that was the same arrow or a different arrow?
it's the same one.
Yeah, it's the same one.
Okay.
I love it though, because it's the only time we see her missing home.
Oh
I
no,
know.
Batman.
I love this scene with Barry.
I
He,
like
the,
too.
the Naruto run?
Yeah, the Naruto.
I also think it's possible that the League didn't even know that he turned back.
I know.
I
mean,
guess
look-
we'll find out in the Flash movie.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh,
Honestly,
wait, I forgot. It's
I don't
not-
even care if people are mad that he didn't go back to his regular suit after. Whatever. Be mad.
I mean, this is Zack Snyder's Justice League, so like,
Then go watch Justice League if it makes you so mad. That
go
was
watch Justice League then.
Again, this scene could have been cut literally in half. I don't need this entire just like.
I'm so mad that we're never gonna see Jesse's Lex again. And I got so annoyed when I saw that tweet the other day that said like, "Wow, it was actually like kind of a good idea to base Lex Luthor on Mark Zuckerberg." I was like, "No, you don't get to do that."
I know the
now.
whole the revisionist history of it all too.
No, you don't get to be like, "Wow, maybe this was a good idea." Like, no, I knew it was a good idea years ago.
We all knew it was a good idea.
You were the one saying it was stupid because Jesse Eisenberg is like a scrawny guy or something. So no.
Now we don't got it no more, so it's your fault.
Yeah, you don't get to enjoy Jesse's Lex. Only the 30 of us that appreciated it do. I love this track. The Red King.
Yeah, I'm glad they brought that back. Like, I don't like. This is the one bit I think Junkie literally pulled it from BVS. I don't think he recorded this.
No, it brought me so much joy though when I heard it the first time. I was like, "That's my song."
And that was the dumb thing in fucking Justice, because Danny Elfman was like just made another violin track. I'm like, it's literally there for you. You don't have to do anything new. Just redo this, and he couldn't even fucking do that.
Danny Elfman is like what has been so talented. Like, it was really frustrating. Like, his Spider-Man score is literally my favorite superhero score ever.
Uh-huh.
So it's really frustrating to see what he did with that. Like, even watching those movies.
And even then, even the whole like, oh, there's no Batman score besides mine mentality he had. Like, dude, screw you.
Yeah.
I love this scene. I love this shot.
Is it crazy? That's literally Zack's boat.
I remember seeing that in Justice League. I was like, Zack did that. It was so obvious.
That's Lex Luthor.
Lex and his sexy lady bodyguards.
Mm-hmm. And the Deathstroke suit looks so good here too. Like, I remember when Ben showed that little like behind the scenes little video of him way back when.
Yeah, I remember that. Everyone was so hyped for it.
Yep.
And then WB just decided not to do anything with it anymore.
They could easily still do it like an HBO Max show for him if they wanted to. It's like, why not?
I mean, if they're gonna kill him off, they might as well, give him one last hurrah.
But it is funny though, like in this movie, like how many people like Zack picked from the Raimi Spider-Man movies.
Like Flash, I don't want to fight you, Flash. I wouldn't want to fight.
I know we have Willem Dafoe, we got J.K. Simmons, we got him.
I feel like he would have gotten Tobey Maguire if he just found something for him.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. I feel like Tobey might say no, but Zack would try.
That was such a perfect setup for a Batman solo. It really, like, when I watched it the first time, I was so bummed.
Yeah.
Like, what could have been?
So I can't remember if I said it in the last commentary or if I just said it online. I feel like what they should have done with these last couple of things is have after Superman does the shirt rip. Emily, over there, sweetie. They should have had the title card after the Superman shirt rip, and then these scenes.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I understand why for so many people it was so jarring going from what would normally be classified as end credit scenes or post credit scenes or mid credit scenes or whatever to like these scenes that don't tie directly into what we just saw.
I think Zack is just anti post credit scenes.
Which, like, I don't hate. Like, it's a minor thing. It's not that big a deal to me, but like.
This is such a funny group. I love that this is...
It's so random, too. Like, it's 3 regular leaguers, and then Mira, Deathstroke, and Joker. But honestly, I like the idea of Mira being in the league. I really do.
Oh, I like it, too. I guess she was just not around when Arthur died, and then she joined up with them, and Deathstroke is here. It's 3 members of the league, plus Mira and Deathstroke.
And Joker. He's just dead and soul.
And look, I understand why people don't like Jared Leto's Joker, whatever, fine. But I appreciate Zack respecting Jared enough and David Ayer enough to bring him back. And to have that still be like, yeah, this is still our Joker, despite you people not liking it.
Yeah, I think this is definitely one of his best scenes as Joker.
Oh, I agree.
It's the best one. It is so funny.
Well, because Zack directed it, mostly.
Why is Joker here? I don't even remember why.
Well, I can't remember if Zach said this or this was just a fan theory, but like that he's immune to the anti-life equation.
Yeah,
Because
but
he's
like,
already batshit insane.
why would Bruce not kill him? Like, but,
Well, I guess the whole thing was like this was before they had to go back in time, so this was like they need whoever they can get to make that happen, and I guess that Joker was part of that plan, but once the plan was over, he would have killed him. I don't know. I might be making stuff up, but I feel like I remember someone saying that.
I do like that he drags Bruce here. It's kind of satisfying. It is interesting to hear him call him Bruce. I don't think we've ever had that before.
I
except
think
in
you're right,
Gotham.
yeah. Other than a couple of shots where you could definitely see Ben lost weight in his face, I still think overall he still looks pretty good in this old Batsuit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like there's actually a pretty good number.
Oh, yeah. But, like, he's kind of right. This is the only time Joker's ever been right. And then Bruce taped that to his gun. This movie said bat jokes rights. Also, Joker makes a sex joke here, so...
I always like this line. Like,
You
just
were
the, it's the taunting, like...
Yeah. I really would have liked to see a flashback to Joker and Dick Grayson. I would have liked to see that.
Me too.
I love that Harley Quinn died saying, "Kill Joker."
And I remember, like, after seeing this, I'm like, then yeah, Birds of Prey can still be canon in this universe.
It is canon in this universe. Like, oh yeah. I love that though. Like, that's so iconic of Harley dying in Batman's arms. Kill Joker.
Just kill.
I do remember, though, like, I think when she was promoting Suicide Squad, or the new Suicide Squad, they asked Margot Robbie about this, and she was like, oh, it's cool that other people can do different versions of Harley, and that was the most, like, non-answer answer she could have given.
Margot does that. She's done that about a lot of things.
I mean, she can't necessarily say they're canon.
Well, what you like the Suicide Squad, is that even canon? I don't know what's canon anymore.
I mean, it can go in the garbage.
Nick with the puns and the bitterness towards God. I respect it.
Again, and I do think it's funny how, like, Bruce is like, we need to hurry up, we need to get going, and then he literally has this whole, like, 5-minute conversation with Joker.
You had a 5-minute discussion with Joker. You had a 5-minute discussion with your ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, you know the League was standing there like, oh, they're doing this again.
I know.
They're doing... Oh, great, you found
And
it.
so, other than the Man of Steel one, I so very clearly recognize that they pulled this part of Superman from BVS.
Yeah, it's very obvious. I don't know how they would survive this encounter, but we know they do.
But that's the weird thing, like, doesn't this technically take place before the scene in BVS?
Yes,
Huh?
it does. Because of the Joker card, we know it does. So how the heck does Batman get out of here alive?
I don't know, maybe he does his sneak away thing, where he's like, 1 minute he's there, Superman looks away, and then the next minute he's gone.
Well, we know he's too much of a pussy to die, so he escaped somehow. Okay, I need this clarified again. This was reshot like recently.
Yes, this was like a year ago.
Or not reshot.
Yeah.
Like this was something like Ben came back to do this like a year ago, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can tell. Like, also, can I say one thing? Like, one
What?
thing that has nothing to do with it. How in the hell does Ben look like that?
What do you
I
mean?
don't- What do you mean?
No, I mean, like, how does he? He's like close to 50.
Oh, you mean
Right.
like how he's basically went from like aging up really fast to like he got with Anna de Armas in J-Lo and he like
Now
gained
he's, like,
like 20 years of his life back.
Maybe he dated Anna de Armas and J-Lo within the same year. We would also be looking that good.
But I will say though, like I'm not saying this because I judge Ben for gaining weight after shooting Justice League initially. Like I've said before, like obviously, like I'm not judging mental health. Like I know he was in a shitty situation, like with Justice League, and of course, like he was dealing with his alcohol abuse problems, like all of that. But it is interesting seeing how in the reshoots for that movie he had gained weight, and in this, when they had to have additional photography, he lost weight. Not
He's
for
like-
the
he's
roles,
like the
but
healthiest I've seen him in a while.
In this scene, I think he looks really healthy, like now. Like,
oh no, I agree.
Yeah.
But it is to me very obvious that this was shot long after the initial photography because of how skinny he is. But he looks good. Like I believe that this is still Bruce. It's not as jarring as the reshoots in Justice League.
The Ben's 49, and we do need to let go of this idea that, like, at 50 you suddenly look like...
No, yeah, I agree.
Like, look at George Clooney. He's, like, in his 60s, and he's still looking great.
Oh yeah, sorry. Like I love that Martian Manhunter scene. I think he looks great, and it is interesting that like Harry Lennox literally just did that basically in a sound booth.
Yeah, he did.
And the music was so good.
I would have really liked to see more Martin.
And the Bat Lake.
I hate seeing this ending because it just reminds me of what we'll never see again.
Well, no, the 4 Autumn always gets me. Like,
Same here.
Yeah, that too.
When I first saw this, I, like, teared up when I saw that.
All right, and with that, that is Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Indeed.
I never heard this ending song.
Really?
It's Hallelujah.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, it is.
It's done by Alison Crowe, who she sang.
Yeah.
She was in Man of Steel. She was the singer at that bar that that one sexual harasser dude was at.
Oh wow, they brought it. Oh, they brought.
And
it
she
back.
did didn't she did a song for Watchmen too, right?
Did she?
I don't remember.
I feel like she did something for Watchmen, but I know for sure she did Man of Steel. And I guess part of it too was that she sang this song at Autumn's funeral.
Yeah, that is true. Alright, well that's the end of the movie.
Honestly, like every time I get to the 4 Autumn part when I do a full rewatch of this movie, like it
Yeah.
never not I always end up emotional and sad because like
It's sad, but it's a lovely little tribute.
yes, like
After the road to get to it, it was nice.
yeah, like obviously like I have my issues with the fandom as it is now. And a lot of the stuff they've done since the movie's come out, and even before then, I had issues with the fandom. But all of that aside, I am still so happy that Zack was able to do this. One, because it was catharsis for him, you know.
Yeah.
Like he was able to kind of like, put a little button on that time of his life. And I just am really happy that obviously that we got this as fans, but mainly that him and his family were able to finish this and were able to close that chapter of their life. Because at the end of the day, that whole movement, the release of Snyder Cut movement, was for them and for Autumn's memory.
Yeah.
That's what it
man,
should have been about. That's what it should be always have been about, And
Yeah.
that's why it's hard for me to support, restore the Snyderverse, even though, like, as a fan, of course, I would love to see more, but Warner Brothers is fucking awful. Like,
Yeah.
that has not changed. Like, even though we got this movie, we know Zack still had to fight an uphill battle with them every chance they could, like, he shot the whole Green Lantern thing, and they told him, no, we have plans for that, and then obviously they don't have plans for that, and they had, like...
They still... do they even have plans for that anymore?
No. Like, they have that Green Lantern show, supposedly, that they're doing, but, like, that doesn't really... I don't think has Jon Stewart in it, but it's... I don't know. I just hate Warner Brothers, so that's why I can't, in good faith, support the idea of pushing Zack to go back to a toxic environment like that.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I would perfectly be happy if this was the last thing that WB got from Zack.
Mm-hmm.
And, he just moves on to do his own thing. He's doing his own thing now. He's creating his own cinematic universe.
Exactly. And, like...
Like, what?
Yeah, and here's the thing, like, we just got Army of Thieves, which he didn't direct.
Which was an amazing movie, by the way. But
Army of Thieves was so much fun. Like, I am so down for, like, obviously, I'm not saying everything that Zack makes is always going to be fantastic, is always going to be amazing, but I want to support him being given the freedom to do what he wants to do. Whether we like it or not, that doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But he gets to make the movies and the content that he wants to make. And that's what, obviously what people say that Restore the Snyderverse is about. But, like, he would still be hamstrung by IP that he didn't create. With Army of the Dead and Rebel Moon and all that stuff, he can do literally whatever the hell he wants.
Like, he said recently that he considers the Snyderverse his original IP.
Yeah, and, like, I think a lot of fans need to accept that. Like, again, I understand the want for wanting to see more of these movies, and like I said, I would be there day one to support Zack doing more of these, but on principle, and it's the idea of him doing those and having to be under WB again, hell no.
Yep.
Like, we talked a lot about, like, us needing to move on from cape shit, and, like, I really do try to, but I don't know if, honestly, I'll ever really be able to fully move on, especially when, like I said earlier, like, the Batgirl movie, I want to see that, especially because J.K. Simmons is coming back, and the Black Canary movie, and, like, Blue Beetle, and, like, I can't deny my excitement for that. Of course, I am wary because of WB, and obviously they're putting all the people of color DC movies on HBO Max and not in theaters, which should be sus, but that's a discussion for another time.
It is sus.
Yeah, I just have no faith in WB when it comes to, like, any kind of DC films as of late. Because it's like, I mean, we got some good movies coming. There's Blue Beetle, there's
I would say even Shazam 2. Like, Shazam 2 looks fun.
Oh, yeah.
Shazam 2 looks fine. Because I don't like the people in it, but it looks fine.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that they replaced the actor or the actress who played adult Mary with the girl who actually plays Mary.
Yeah.
What? Wait, why did they replace her again?
He's a far-right Trumper.
Well, I don't know if that was specifically the reason. I would like to think that was the reason, but I think part of it, too, was just, like, realistically, why would she age that much up if she's already kind of an adult?
True. And then we also got Static Shock.
Yes, that I'm also excited for, because that's because Michael B. Jordan is producing that, right?
Static Shock is coming.
And that's Michael B. Jordan producing that, right?
Yeah, Michael B. Jordan's producing it. He's also producing this
Superman movie.
Yeah. We'll see if that was actually a BS announcement or what, but we'll see.
I don't see about that, because apparently the Black Superman movie that Michael B. Jordan is producing is different from the Black Superman movie that's, WB and J.J. Abrams are doing. So, like...
And then here Henry Cavill is still being a bootlicker for Warner Brothers every chance he can.
He might as well cut that noise, because, like, at this point, I don't see him coming back.
Yeah, like obviously Warner Brothers doesn't know what they want to do with Superman, and Henry is getting older, and two, like, he's busy with The Witcher, which is a pretty big production.
Like, no reason why he's trying to still be in WB's good graces.
Like he's been playing, he's been playing both sides of this whole thing for years now, and what has he benefited from it? Literally nothing. And then he barely even promoted this.
Yeah,
like
so
all he did was like he was there for that initial announcement that the Snyder Cut was coming, and then he posted like one thing on Instagram, and like that was it.
Well, to be fair, all of them barely posted anything about it, except maybe, like, Ray Fisher. Oh, yeah. And, like, Jason Momoa.
I mean, Jason posted, I think, he posted that clip of Diana in the cave thing, but not much.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I kind of understood, because I'm pretty sure him and Gal were under lock and key with Warner Brothers because they still have ongoing franchises. Okay, whatever. Henry... No.
Henry hasn't... What's Henry got?
Literally, The Witcher and that Enola Holmes movie, which is Netflix. Like... What do you mean? They're both Netflix. Like...
So funny.
Like, he has no, like...
He's a flop.
Basically. Like, why is he still trying to be on WB's good graces when they clearly don't want him?
And even then, like, Henry... I probably wouldn't have liked this movie, but he was trying to work with Christopher McQuarrie to make like a buddy cop Superman movie, and even Warner Brothers said no to that. And Christopher McQuarrie, his movies are pretty well received, and they even said no to that. So Warner Brothers literally has no idea what the hell they want to do with Superman.
Wait, you think they were gonna make a buddy cop Superman movie?
Basically.
But who was the other cop?
I think like Green Lantern or something. I don't fucking know.
They were gonna do something similar like Superman 3, where it was like I would have been so mad if they would have done a Superman 3 type of thing, where it's like Superman and a black comedian, and it's like, oh, he's gonna be like the stereotypical black.
Oh no, I don't mean like that. That movie was awful.
Would have been Kevin Hart. I know it. I know they would have chosen Kevin Hart.
Oh god, I can't stand Kevin Hart. I'm sorry.
People are gonna say he's somehow gonna be in the Black Adam movie.
I swear, if he is, I'm gonna check out.
But yeah, I have no faith in WB anymore. It's all just...
Neither do I. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, it's so pathetic, because, like, look, and just, like, pick a direction you want to go. Like, either continue with what Zack was doing, or just fucking reboot. It's not that hard. Like, I don't understand, like, and they have Superman and Lois, which, like, critically is doing very well for them. So, like...
Yeah, so it's
either,
like perfect opportunity.
Either make a movie or don't. Like, I don't understand, like, why they keep being like, oh, we're gonna keep making a black Superman movie. Yeah, because we want the black people to watch our movies.
And the sad thing about it is that, so now when you say it like that...
and it's sad, because I'm pretty sure that's pretty much how their thinking is, like...
Yeah.
It's stunt announcements is what they are.
Yeah. But the thing about it is, if you're going to say you're going to do that, then do it. We don't... Like, that's the thing about us. Like, us black people, when you say you're going to do something in terms of, like, representation... We hold it to you to actually do it. And when you don't, it's like, that just makes it worse for you. So, when they said they were going to do it, you now have to commit to that. You got to give us updates. You got to tell us, how's the production going? What is this current level of where you guys are with this film? Because this isn't just some random superhero that you're making into like a black character. This is a black Superman. This can be a very big profitable thing for the community. And if you're going to say you're going to do it, then do it. Don't like just make random announcements just to protect your own racist asses.
I don't want.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I can't speak because I'm not saying I can't speak, but like I don't have that perspective because obviously I'm a white guy. But even then, like I can totally tell when Warner Brothers or other studios too, like just totally make announcements just because they think that they're getting like woke points or diversity points. But it's like if the content doesn't actually reflect that you're actively trying to be diverse and not just stunt casting, but also like behind the scenes and like on screen, and you're picking them in ways that aren't stereotypical and they aren't just token characters, then like either just do that or just don't pretend that you're trying to be diverse when you're not.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's ridiculous, but it's this whole situation really is just sad. Like, obviously, like the Reeve movies, we got 4 of those, and plus Superman Returns. Like, the Superman franchise has always been a tough nut for WB to handle, because they had Donner with Superman 1. They let him shoot like 80% of Superman 2, and then they were like, him and the producers didn't get along, and Warner Brothers like, all right, we're gonna hire a new director, reshoot a bunch of stuff, and add a new ending, all this stuff. I'm like, and people still liked Superman 2 for a while, but then the Donner version came out, and I think that most people would agree that the consensus is like the Donner version is the superior version, and then Superman 3, which had the replacement director from Superman 2 on it, sucked. Superman 4, garbage, and then Supergirl, which like I haven't seen that movie more than like a few minutes of it, and that to me wasn't very good what I saw. And then Superman Returns, which like I don't think is a terrible movie, but it wasn't really a box office success or that much of a critical success. And then you had Man of Steel, which obviously critically, people weren't that big on, but it made so much money because I think people want to see a Superman movie that's not just a rehash, or like at least that's what I thought the consensus was. But people keep acting like, oh, we want basically a Christopher Reeve movie again. But then when they get it, they're like, oh, but not like that.
Like, Superman fans don't know what they want.
They don't. Superman fans, I honestly am putting Superman fans in with Star Wars fans as some of the worst fans ever.
Yeah. Like, because, it's like this preservation of what was already done before. And it's like, okay, so you want old Superman, and they're like, yes, and then they get it in Superman Returns, and it's like, nah, this is awful. We want something new. Then they get something new, and it's like, oh no, this is terrible.
They get like Brandon Routh coming back for Crisis on Infinite Earth of Superman, like, oh, this is the best Superman ever. But guess what? They killed off that version's Lois Lane. So in my opinion, it's not a good Superman story if it's not also with Lois Lane.
Yeah.
And that's not Brandon Routh's fault. He's just an actor who's subject to a role that's written like that. And, like, obviously I would hold him accountable if he had say in that, but he didn't. So, like, again, people, like, they like the idea of Superman as long as he just says all of the quote-unquote good Superman lines, like, quote, like, talking about hope 24/7 and, like, saving cats out of trees, or, like, saving what would kind of be like cat out of trees. Like, it's so ridiculous. And, like, that's why I was so bitter on Tyler Hoechlin's Superman for such a long time, because it seemed like his casting and the way he was written as Superman and Supergirl was literally to please the people who hated Henry Cavill's Superman.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I've watched Superman and Lois. I like the show, and he has grown on me as Superman. But again, his whole thing in being cast in the first place to me was Warner Brothers trying to make that Superman an apology for the Superman that people didn't like. And that really bugs me. That still bothers me. Like, I'm glad that he's on a better show, because Supergirl definitely sucked.
Yeah, Supergirl literally took that. I don't like Supergirl. You know, it's speaking of Supergirl, and I don't want to because it's like, you know, this is a Justice League watch thing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, maybe that's for like another video.
Yeah, and by the way, I kind of mentioned this earlier. I can't remember if it was on record or not. So obviously, if you guys who are listening have paid any attention to the channel, you guys know that for the last year and a half, we've had a lot of gaps in between episodes, and a lot of that has been either because of just life getting in the way, the pandemic, or, you know, as I mentioned previously, like we've had people leave the podcast, so we were kind of figuring things out for a while there. But now we've kind of talked about this, so more episodes will be coming. It's not going to be obviously like a bunch of us. Like, if you guys have noticed, last few episodes has only ever really been a few people anyway. But basically, I'm going to try and have episodes with people who don't normally have the chance to have episodes with them, like Artyom. He hasn't had the chance to really been on the podcast. I don't know if he even really has been since the Snyder Cut was even announced. So, of course, I know he wants to talk about the movie. I know he wants to talk about other stuff. And obviously, we're Bitter Geeks, so we made this podcast because we didn't want to just primarily talk about the DC movies, even though that has been pretty much all that we've talked about, outside of the one episode we talked about Lord of the Rings. But we are going to try to talk about more subjects, whether it is either like DC TV shows or like... Thank you, sweetie. Or whether it's just like, again, more Lord of the Rings stuff, or like the Matrix movie coming out, or like Spider-Man No Way Home, because the only reason I care about that movie is because of the old cast crew coming back for this, you know, so like, you know, we'll talk about new and different things, and they'll definitely be coming out more frequently, because a lot of why we wait so long in between episodes is because it's very hard to line up the schedules of like 8+ people who live literally all over the world.
Yeah.
And
and
obviously it's obvious, and a critique of the podcast we've gotten in the past is, you know, we have too many people on, so a lot of people are always talking over each other, which, like, I take that criticism, and obviously it doesn't like offend me, but I understand it. So from now on, we might have episodes with more than a few people, but for the most part, it's probably going to be like 2, 3, 4 people max. And they will be coming out more frequently, and they'll be covering a variety of subjects. So definitely keep an eye out for that. But seriously, guys, I had a lot of fun watching this movie with you guys, even though it took us 2 months.
Yeah.
I miss talking to you guys, and I'm excited to talk about new and different things with you guys. And thank you guys for being here today. It was a lot of fun.
Well, winter break is coming, so I will be over that.
Yeah, and I'll definitely have more time because I'll be I'm heading to a convention.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So yeah, that would be fun to talk about too.
I'm not gonna say where. But it's just gonna be a convention.
Yeah. So I won't spoil it for the people. But yeah, thank you guys a lot. It was a lot of fun. I'm definitely looking forward to it. And obviously, you know, my schedule is usually free because I'm a stay-at-home dad. But you know, I will be excited to be able to talk to you guys more when you guys are going to be on your break. So we'll figure out something. Keep an eye out on our Twitter page, because that's, or either the podcast Twitter page or our individual Twitter pages, where we will talk about what's coming up. But yeah, so thank you guys again for being here. I will talk to you guys soon. And for everyone listening, thank you so much. Again, keep an eye out on our social medias just to see when we will be posting next. And until next time, guys, have a good one.